UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Our viewers, I thank you for participating and watching UBC. My name's Engineer Kibuuka, Ronald. I'm the technical assistant to the Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation. I'm also the Chief Engineer of Namukekera Rural Industrial Center. So today we are going to look at the history, economic history of Namukekera that is ushering us into this important trade show where we have enormous products that we trade in Uganda, in East Africa, in Africa, and we export to Europe. Namukekera is quite a detailed piece, but its history goes way back to 1907 when Blodo and Mr. Lee, rubber experts, went to Namukekera and planted 19,400 rubber trees. Now, the collapse of the Imperial British East African Company gave birth to the Uganda Company. When the Church Missionary Society came to Uganda, they came with an industrial arm. So they enacted a company, the Uganda Company, in 1903 in London to carry on their industrial mission in Uganda. Now, Mr. Blodo and Mr. Lee were working for the Uganda Company under the industrial mission. So they identified Namukekera as a fertile ground and also industrial space. So Namukekera starts then. However, it is massaged by the change of events, like the world wars. So by 1920, Namukekera was a state-of-the-art coffee processing plant on top of the rubber and the others. So Namukekera was servicing Mubende, Mitiana, Chiboga, then Bururi, that is Nakasongola, then Luwero, that is Bulemezi, and also Chagwe. So all the coffee from these areas was coming to Namukekera. So it was a state-of-the-art factory around 1930, fully automated. So you can imagine in Uganda at that time there was a fully automated plant with hydropower processing coffee in Namukekera. So because of the economic wars and the world wars that happened at that time, there was a Great Depression of 1930. So the Europeans who are in Uganda ran short of cash. However, the Indians who came as Indian coolies and became traders in Uganda had accumulated enough cash. Remember, around that time, Ugandans were not allowed to trade, and they were not allowed to own stores of coffee or cotton, because the Europeans and Indians thought we Ugandans didn't have entrepreneurial skills to do business. So they put us at the back to become producers and not players in the marketplace. So this gave rise to all the wars of the Bataka Bulls that actually gave a climax in 1944, I think. Now, around 1930, an Indian, Prabdas Karidas Shah, bought Namukekera from the Uganda Company because of the distress. They had run out of cash. He bought it at 150,000 Uganda shillings. So by 1948, two prominent Ugandans, Baganda men, actually, that is Antonio Tamale and his friend Mukasa Shem, approached Karidas Shah and said, we want to buy Namukekera. And he accepted to sell it to them, but he said, let me work with you for the next 10 years, then I'll hand it over. So in 1948, Prabdas Karidas Shah handed over, 1958, the Indian handed over Namukekera to Antonio Tamale and his friend Mukasa Shem and industrial coffee growers. So Namukekera proceeded to be excellent in processing coffee in Bulemezi, They even gave birth to another factory called Namakomago after Namagungo near to Jinja. That was part of industrial coffee growers. But 1966 again was a climax, or another milestone that brought in the war, or was it the friction between the Kabaka and the then His Excellency Milton Obote. Now, because of being scared of the power of Ganda capital, His Excellency Milton Obote engineered the cooperatives as a vehicle, as an economic vehicle. So he moved to the left, what they call moving to the left. So all private capital was put under cooperatives. And the climax was the 1969 Common Man's Charter, or we call it the Nakivubo Declaration, where officially by policy, capital, private capital, was pushed under cooperatives. So it is some kind of dispossession. So private sector was dispossessed and pushed to work deliberately under yes. So around that time, Antonio Tamale also again got friction with the president, and he was imprisoned. Then the industrial coffee growers was taken over by East Mengo, still by policy. So industrial coffee growers lost their property to East Mengo by policy 1969. So if we move on from that period, we see that when NRA goes to war in Bulemezi, this Namunkekera becomes a war theater. It becomes a war theater. So many of the major reforms in NRA took place in Namukekera. So it became a place of importance to the Bush War. So the 27 guns, even Namukekera now hosts a graveyard for many comrades of the NRA. And so Namukekera becomes a heritage site. It is also a historical industrial site, and it is also a spiritual site to a good extent. So after they left the Bush War, General Salim Saleh remembered Namukekera. He had gone ahead to buy property like Pearl Marina, where you see Pearl Marina in Entebbe there, a very prime property. But because of his memory of Namukekera and the importance of Namukekera in their hearts, he actually sold his property in Entebbe, a very prime property, and invested the money in Namunkekera, which was an idea. Which idea was it? It was a logistics and industrial hub idea. So we see him developing Namukekera from, because he bought it 1997, and he starts developing it in 2002 all the way to 2009, when again Namukekera hits another reform. So it's amazing that in the very first years of Namukekera, he was hosting veterans, Namukekera, Bulemezi veterans, Luwero veterans. So it was under that spirit of importance. So General Saleh is a financial engineer. You can see him engineering, because now in 2012 he's asked by the president to actually give Namukekera to a group of investors. So General Saleh gave out his land at $1 to these investors, not because it had no value, but because he was financial engineering, as I'm going to illustrate to you. So Mr. Zhang, the Chinese, to whom the industrial park was given at $1, immediately developed the land and ran to China and brought investors. So that $1 helped him to develop. He used all the other money to develop, bring power, bring water, electricity, do infrastructure, roads. So to create an enabling environment for the investors. So at that time, we see the Namukekera model shaping. And what is Namukekera model? The Namukekera model is the landlord, developer, investor relationship. So Mr. Zhang brought many investors. Today, we are looking at 32 functional industries and 40 maximum because they are in construction. And at full capacity, we are looking at 60 industries. The total industrial space of Namukekera is 5.2 square kilometers. And this is the land, this is the place that is under a physical plan. It's under a master physical plan. So Namukekera as a place is planned then. So Namukekera now becomes bigger. Namukekera is home to Liaoshen Industrial Park. Namukekera is home to Kilema, or we call it a heritage farm, which was also a land action plan. So in Namukekera, we've had land reforms that have helped the Wananchi to get land ownership. For example, in Kilema, General Saleh bought 64 acres of land. 3 villages were about to be dismissed by a landlord. So after doing that, he gave them ownership. And when he gave the people of Kilema ownership, it released the true value of land. The same thing he has done in Kapeka, because in Kapeka he gave away land at $1 and he released the true value of land. What Kapeka is today is more than what he would have got out had he sold it for the actual price, actually. Because now, with the deal which he made with the landlord, with the developer, and the investor, he has a portion for every product that is manufactured in that industrial park. And this is generational wealth. This is real financial engineering. Because of that contract, for every product made in every individual industry, he has a share. And these industries are not going away tomorrow. And they are now multiplying. So, and the beauty is he's seated in his chair, he's not participating, but he's earning. So that is financial engineering and actually wisdom. So we thank him for that kind of initiative because he's teaching Ugandans how to release the true value of land. Many Ugandans are selling their land for peanuts when they can actually innovate and be financial engineers so that they earn and their children will earn and their descendants and their children and all their grandchildren. So we are learning much from Kapeka. So having reached that kind of success in Kapeka, Kapeka has influenced industrial development outside the park. And also, still, Namukekera has influenced the physical planning of Kapeka sub-county. Kapeka sub-county in the entire country is the only one with a physical plan. Okay? So it's a planned area, but under Namunkekera, or under the influence of Namunkekera. And actually, General Saleh used his own money for the initiation of the master plan of, or the physical plan of Kapeka. So this is Namukekera. And today we are going into a trade show to exhibit. Because now we have an industry called Gokta Wear. It is doing laptop bags, suitcases, PPEs, and we are exporting to Europe. We have latex, dealing with all textile. We have leather shoes, nana shoes. We have houseware. So the vision of Namukekera is to be in your houses, in every part of your house. We are in your bathroom, in bathtubs, sinks, floor tiles, wall tiles. We are in your kitchens. We have microwave, you have Hisense TV, you have bulbs. We have all these ones are manufactured in Kapeka. Even the wiring, the house, many houses are wired now using Namukekera wires. Okay. Then we are in your sitting room, we are everywhere. So our vision is to have our products in Kapeka in all your houses. On your tables, our plates, the cups, the glasses. So this is Namukekera for you. And these things are made in Uganda. Today, Namukekera has a huge impact on our economy because it exhibits import substitution. Kenya imports its tiles from Uganda, so does Tanzania, so does Rwanda, so does Burundi, so does DRC. So actually the road of Matuga, Namukekera has been eroded, not in a bad way. It has been eroded because of weight. Carrying what? Carrying exports. So now the ones redesigning that road should put it to the actual or the right axial load, because Namukekera is a miracle that happened 65 kilometers away from Kampala. And we have good relationship with the government because we're a private industrial park with government agencies, UIA, URSB, National Water. These are the ones that have also beefed us up and helped us to be strong in this industrial sector. Now, because of that relationship, URA decided to come and be resident in Kapeka. So for us, we don't pick our containers or goods from Nakawa. We export and import from Kapeka. And we thank His Excellency for the security. Kapeka is growing. The people, business is growing. The communities in Kapeka are now being innovative in businesses. They are doing, you know, our Ugandan business to feed into the industrial park, the clothing, the shoes, the food. So Kapeka and the surrounding areas are seeing the transformation. And this industrial park is hiring our children. And there is something particular about Ugandan children or Ugandan work labor, because the machines in Kapeka are in Chinese, but they are operated by our own children, sons and brothers who did not go to China to learn Chinese, but they have adapted to this technology and they are doing well. Okay? So we thank His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, for this opportunity and enabling environment. Because Namukekera is an exhibit of Museveni's economics and liberalization. Because liberalization gave birth to invitational foreign direct investments. So these foreign direct investments have beefed up the economy, and they have also transformed our communities, just like you see Namukekera. So I welcome you to come to Namukekera. The uniqueness about Namukekera Trade Show is that we take you to the industries and you actually see how raw material is transformed into products. You will see how clay is transformed into cups. You will see how ceramic tiles are made, and you will also go away convinced that actually all these products are Ugandan made. They are not imported. You will see how laptop bags are made, how suitcases are made. So Ugandans should have confidence in goods manufactured here, most especially in Kapeka, because they are quality and high quality. And you know we are exporting to Europe. Europe can never have imported from Kapeka if the quality was not good. I salute you and I greet you. And finally, I want to thank my boss, General Saleh, for being a visionary and a revolutionary leader who has transformed the people of Bulemezi for God and my country.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.